Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Let me know if you can hear me. Oh, you can hear me now? Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna have to start over. I don't know why that wasn't working. Okay, wonderful. I don't know what's going on with Substack, but the last two lives, including this one, you couldn't hear me. It's nice to meet you. Nice to see you, Crystal. I'm so sorry. I was going on and on. So, um, what I will say is I'll introduce myself again. My name is Kira. I'm one of the co-founders of Wite Collar. Wite Collar is an online skills building platform that connects you to mentors or seasoned entrepreneurs, and where virtual mentorship can occur. Um, and so I was on here, and I was just kind of giving some background on Wite Collar. And the theme and the topic of this conversation is going to be about who we are for and who we are not for. So I'm going to do a quick review of that because I was talking for a while, but nobody could hear me. So now everybody can hear me. I'm going to go over it. So I'm looking. I took some notes, and so just to kind of make sure I stay on point and with what I'm saying. This will probably be only another 15 minutes. So we'll do 15 minutes of talking about Wite Collar, what we do. Um, yes, we specialize in mentorship, but in niche mentorship. So we don't offer general business mentorship. So for people that are looking to start out entrepreneurship or be a business owner, we don't offer general business advice. In terms of how you set up your. I mean, we can give that information, but it's given in the course of niche mentorship. So the entrepreneurs that we have on our platform that offer mentorship um, are offering information as it relates to their specific industry. So for someone that's starting out, that's trying to, whether it's looking to start a business or a career in that industry, they can get some game on how to kind of maneuver that industry and be successful. And we also connect people not just to mentors they could see online, but also mentors they could see in person. So we have a way for people to search for mentors within their area, their zip code, and find mentors within a certain mile radius, because we recognize that not everybody wants to do things virtually. Some people want to meet with people in person. And if you have any questions, just put it in the chat. And I periodically check between the screen I'm looking at, because I don't have two screens, the screen I'm looking at, and then what's in the chat. So let's start off with who we are for. We are for people that understand the value of expert advice and are willing to pay for it. And then we are not for people who think that mentorship should be free because they don't value people's time. So that's pretty self-explanatory, right? I know gone are the days that people are getting free mentorship. Sometimes they do, but people used to always equate mentorship with life coaching, life mentorship. Your pastor or your teacher or your coach would give you some give you some free game. And it was more so general life mentorship versus what we do, which is for industries or how to start a business or things of that matter. It was just more so like mindset coaching that people used to do back in the day for free to kind of help people that they knew that were part of their community. But those days are gone. Even now, you have to pay for life coaching. Everything comes at a value. And so if you're still, and I find a lot of the older generations still look at mentorship in the way that it used to be. If you're one of those people that looks at mentorship as, people should be giving game away for free, then we are not for you. We are for people who understand the value of people's time. A lot of our entrepreneurs are self-employed or business owners, and they're busy, but they want to help people, right? They're niche. They're finding a they're niching out and carving out time for people. And a lot of times, what they've told me is when they did offer free mentorship, people wouldn't show up. And so we value our mentors' time. We understand that they could be doing anything else but what they're doing for us. And so mentors are paid in the platform. They're paid through a subscription-based service directly by the mentees. So we are not for people that think mentorship should be free. Um, and so, that if that is the mindset that those certain people have, then they should definitely not work with White Collar. And if they are looking for that resource, we have a resource that we know of that we can refer you to for free mentorship. Because maybe, your purse strings are kind of tight, gas is up, everything is up, so we get that. You want to pay for mentorship, but you just can't afford to. So we can always offer you a resource, but that we do not offer free mentorship, if that makes sense. Let me just make sure. Okay, you're still here. All right. All right. So the next thing is who we are for. People who are committed to personal professional growth and are willing to show up for themselves during the process. We are not for people who are struggling with showing up to commitments because they're too busy or overstretched. With everything in life, you have to make time for it. If you don't have the time, then you should not make the commitment. So, because these people are committed, mentors, coaches are committed to serving people. They're in the human services industry. And so, if you got a lot of responsibilities and commitments, and you're constantly canceling and rescheduling sessions or appointments with your mentor, because things keep coming up. Now, I get it. Things come up. I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I work in addition outside of White Collar. I have another job. In fact, this morning I was supposed to come on at 9 o'clock, and something came up with my job, and I had to put this on the back burner, because that was definitely more important. And so I get it. Things do occasionally come up that you just have no control over, right? But if you're one of those people that's constantly, things are always coming up because life is just chaotic, then maybe this is not the time for you to be taking on this endeavor of getting started in mentorship. And like I said, I would even stay. Sometimes I struggle with, should I use the word mentorship, because I think people think automatically life mentorship, life coaching. We are about skills building, about teaching people how to the hard skills and maybe some soft skills as it relates to the field and the industry they're in. And so you have to be consistently showing up to get the value of what you're paying for. And you may also get like homework assignments and tasks that your mentor gives you, to do in between sessions. And if you're not doing that and you're not showing up, you're wasting your time, you're wasting the other person's time. And so maybe looking at, is this the ideal time for me to take on this commitment right now? Because I want to make sure I maximize my value and what I get out of it. And so it's nothing wrong with tabling it for another time. Who we are for: innovators, trendsetters, pioneers, people who would like to be the first to try something new or be somewhere new. Who we are not for: scary people who scoff at new opportunities, if they're not familiar with the company or don't recognize the company name, or they must be referred by someone they know. Like they just don't do new things. They don't like new things. They feel uncomfortable in new situations. I was one of the first people on Instagram. When Instagram was just a little tiny seed, everybody was on Facebook. Everybody, I just was at the point where I was like, I was tired of Facebook. It was old news to me. Too many people I know were there. I didn't want in my business. So when Instagram came around, and it was all the pressure of the posting and all that. And I liked it better when it was more exclusive and it was just college people. So when it started to be everybody and anybody was on there, and Instagram came out and it was just like a picture posting site, I was like, okay, I was like less pressure, low pressure environment. All I gotta do is post pictures. I ain't gotta put out my business out there. All people gonna know is like maybe what I'm doing by the picture or where I'm at. So I was very interested. So I jumped on board quickly when it wasn't popping. Now it's like huge. So I'm one of those people, I like to be somewhere new. I like to be somewhere where it's not overcrowded and I can really get to know the platform and, and a lot of people like that too, so they can establish themselves as an authority. For me, I just like to be somewhere where it's less noisy. Maybe that's a little bit of neurodivergency in me. I don't know. But yeah, we are for people that like that are like how I was. I like to try something new, like to try new platforms, not looking to be where everybody's at. And are patient and understand that it takes time to build. It took time for Instagram to build. It took time for Substack. I didn't even realize that Substack had been around as long as it had been. Facebook, all those things, they understand it takes time to build things, and they're fine with that. They're fine with being a part of the build. So that's who we are for. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm going to just do a quick check-in. Okay, wonderful. So we're for people that want to be places that are new and give things a good college try. All right, who we are for? People who are flexible, open-minded, and coachable. Most importantly, coachable. We are not for people who are know-it-alls, who are unwilling to let go of their ways of their approaches to how do they do business. This is a very important one. I know some people are stuck in their ways. They've been doing this long. They don't want to, they may seek out mentorship, but in their mind, they're literally looking to be validated and confirmed with what they're doing. They're not looking to really try something new or be open to new ideas. So they get into the mentorship session. Sorry, I'm coming off of a cold over the last week. They're not really open to listening to someone else's point of view, right? They think they are, but when someone actually gives it and is trying to tell them to try something different, then they buck up, right? They buck up. They start puffing out their chest, and they start challenging and going back and forth with their mentor. There's a fine line between really well, first of all, there is no fine line. Unless you've been in business for a while, you really don't know nothing. You may think you know something because you're out here listening to these internet gurus, and but the people that we actually serve are people that are such at that early stage, they don't know nothing. So you shouldn't be telling a mentor anything. I can see maybe if you've been in business for maybe 10, 15 years, but even then, if you're seeking mentorship, something obviously is wrong. If you're seeking help, something is wrong. So you should not be pushing back so much on your mentor. It's okay to push back a little bit. But if you're seeking help and you're seeking mentorship and you're seeking guidance, you should not be constantly pushing back on your mentor. That means you're resistant to change. We're not open to people that are in that place of being resistant to change, because we know that change can be uncomfortable. But if you are just, always giving it to your mentor all the time, and you're not doing the homework assignments, and you think you know better than your mentor, then we're probably not the place for you. What we work with, and I probably should, and I mentioned this in the beginning when the volume wasn't working, is our ideal mentees are between the ages of 18 and 24. Because those are college students, recent graduates, people that are starting out in life, right? Starting out in their career, maybe they're considering entrepreneurship and things of that matter. And you might be like, well, why are you on Substack? Because that's not really that demographic, right? Because people have children, adult children, people have nieces, nephews, people have some interaction with youth, or are directly or indirectly involved with youth. And so that's why we're on Substack. Plus, we just like that we blog and things of that matter. And so that's what attracted us to Substack. So But that is our ideal target market, 18 to 24, transition age youth. And, those people are also ideal because they don't know nothing about nothing, right? They are going to be very open-minded to advisement. When you have some years on you and some mileage on you, sometimes, because you have that lived experience, you're like, you may feel like you know better than the person talking to you, and those young youth don't, right? They are anxiously seeking advisement and help. It's not to say we aren't for people of other ages with other lived experience, but who we ideally serve is 18 to 24. So, because we recognize that they need that kind of guidance the most, especially now where AI is taking over, and a lot of youth are having a very hard time finding entry level positions. This job market right now is just a very tough and difficult job market to navigate. And so we know when it comes to who needs us the most is that 18 to 24 age range, because they're competing against something that no generation before them had to compete against. If that makes sense. Let me do a check in. Okay. Um, so that's who we are for, ideally. We're for people that have an open mindset. You're not coming in with preconceived notions. You're open to hearing someone else's point of view and trying something new. We could all benefit from learning something new. We really could. Um, and we are for people that just love to learn, want to learn, love to learn, want to take on new skill sets. And that could be a person of any age, retirement age. Hold on one second. I took a Benadryl last night, child. I don't know. It's not clearing the mucus out like I thought it would. Um, but we're for people of every age. And when I say that, we are not closed off to people of any age. Um, but you have to have a certain mindset. You have to be willing to be open to new ideas. So that's what's really important when it comes to being. If you're going to seek out coaching and mentorship services, you have to be coachable. Nobody wants to feel like they're pulling teeth or in a battle with someone that they're trying to help, that's seeking their help, but they're constantly getting a lot of pushback. Nobody wants to mentor someone that's not showing up to their appointments or constantly rescheduling. Nobody wants to show up for someone that doesn't want to pay for mentorship, that complains about the pricing, or is always trying to trying to see what they can get for free. Mentorship is an investment in yourself. If you're not committed to investing in yourself, then we are not for you. There's plenty of platforms and plenty of ways you can get help. But we're very intentional about who we serve, so that people so that we connect with who ideally would we connect with who ideally would benefit from us, from what we do, where it's a good fit. We are a matchmaking service. So we connect people to mentors, but we connect to them based off information that they put into our application, right? And so, we like peace of mind too. As being the connector, we want to have peace of mind, excuse me, in knowing that who we're connecting together, they are a good fit for one another, so that there's smooth sailing in the match, and the people are getting what they both need out of the relationship. There are people that just love to serve and want to help, and have tried to give free mentorship before. A lot of our mentors have given away free mentorship and realized that when there's no money attached, people don't value it. They tend to think, that they can do, kind of show up whenever they want. They're not invested. And so they are attracted to White Collar because we don't, even though we charge for mentorship, we don't dig in people's pockets. We don't charge exorbitant amount of money and make mentorship unaffordable for people. We charge just enough for it to hurt if you don't show up. That's what we charge. And we also offer unlimited access to a mentor during that 30-day time that you're receiving mentorship. So it's not like you're paying a mentor a few $100s for an hour of their time and it's just a one-off, or you're paying thousands of dollars to meet with them 6 times or have 6 encounters. You can get as many encounters with that mentor as you want for a flat rate every month. No matter how little or how much you see the mentor, you're going to pay the same amount. So that some people don't like subscriptions. We are a subscription-based service. If you don't like subscriptions, we are not for you. We get it. We understand. Some people don't like subscriptions. Some people prefer to pay all the money up front and they get what they get. Sometimes they get what they thought they were going to get or what they were told they were going to get, and sometimes they don't. But they rather pay that money and just, be done with it. But we are a subscription-based service, so you pay as you go. So for people that like subscriptions, or payment plans or whatever you call it, that's who we are for. So that's another thing. So I don't know if this helped. I see you're still on. If you want to ask any questions, you can ask any questions. But yeah, that is Wite Collar in a nutshell. I hope this gave some insight as to what we do. We also have online events off the app. So right now we have 2 events coming up. One is a mini career fair that is coming up on Tuesday from 1:30 to 2, where we solicit the mentors that are going to be there, or as we like to fondly call them, skillpreneurs that are going to be there, and then you can meet with them one-on-one in breakout rooms. And get to know them as a person, and also get to see what you could possibly get out of receiving mentorship with them. And then on Sunday, May 17th, we have our mentor matchmaking event, which is a larger event where you get to choose who shows up for you at the event. Meaning that, you fill out a registration form, you tell us what you're looking for. You're looking for someone in person, virtually. Excuse me. If you're looking for someone in person or virtually, and then we look and find someone from our mentorship community that can be present for that day. So you can meet with them one-on-one, breakout room style. So that's a little different. So the career fair, we choose who is coming to that. Like we choose the mentors that are going to be available for that. So we choose the panel. For the mentor matchmaking, you choose who you want to show up for you. So yeah, that is what's coming up. And now the event on Sunday is a larger event for a longer period of time. It's a 2-hour event from 5 to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to learn more about us, I'll put some more information about how you can connect with us. I think you're already on the MailChimp for our newsletter. But if you want to connect with us through text, let me know. I can put the text information in here. Hold on a second. So I do not know the text number by heart, sorry. So I have to look it up because we changed it. We changed to MailChimp just a few months ago. And I don't know why, but I just cannot get that. I could get the 1-800 number that we used to use for text in my mind. I became like second nature, but this number for some reason is hard to get it to stick. So you can also, text is a better way, obviously, to connect with us. Because snail mail could be slow. Gmail, email could be slow. And sometimes it goes to promotions and junk mail and things of that matter. So text is a way better way to get to us more quickly. Hold on a second. So you can text us at 984-477-9791, 984-477-9791. So you can text us. You can look out for the emails through MailChimp. So yeah, you can connect with us those two ways. So that's that. I don't have anything else for you. We're hoping that we are for you. I definitely say don't waste time anywhere or at any place that is not going to give you what you're looking for. We're very clear about what we are and what we do, and who we serve. And so if you feel like we could serve you, do connect with us, and we'll be more than happy to help. Anyway, you take care. Have a great rest of your day and a great Mother's Day weekend if it applies. Bye-bye.